Well, we've got it. Blake Lively's deposition. We have our first official snippet. We're going to read through it. We have Isabela Ferrer. Somebody paged the Sisterhood of the Traveling Subpoenas because she's trying to avoid getting served. And Taylor Swift's tracklist for her new album just leaked online. Is there a song about Blake? I think so. Let's discuss. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's going on, everybody? Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in. Happy Wednesday. Oh my God, it's already Wednesday. Wednesday, August 13th. What's up, everybody in the club? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. I don't know if you guys saw, Charlie Sheen just dropped a new trailer, teaser trailer for an upcoming documentary about Charlie Sheen that I'm not gonna lie, actually looks pretty good. It's called AKA Charlie Sheen. It's coming to Netflix. Um, and it's got everybody in it. Like all his exes are in it. Denise Richards is in it. So they just dropped the trailer. It looks like, when does it drop? Look at people that are in it: John Cryer, Heidi Fleiss, Denise Richards, Sean Penn, Ramon Estevez, Brooke Mueller, Chris Tucker, his drug dealer Marco. So many crazy people. I mean, and he's like, it's all gonna be out there. It's all on the line. Let's put it all out there. So I'm ready to watch. I'm actually very excited. It comes out September 10th, aka Charlie Sheen. September 10th. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Watch the trailer. It looks good. Bring it on. Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. Elena says she thought Charlie Sheen passed away. No, not Charlie Sheen passing away. Okay, let's get it. Okay, what do we want to start with? Blake, Isabella, Taylor. We got into the Charlie Sheen. Let's start with the Blake stuff because I feel like that's kind of been going around for a couple of days, so we can kind of just address it, get through it, and keep it moving. But so we got a bit of the deposition from Blake Lively. We have the unredacted snippet. Remember, originally the Wayfair parties were trying to, or they dropped the entire deposition transcript onto the docket, and Blake Lively was fighting to seal it. And so now we get the snippet that they were referring to, or that they were referencing, which I thought was kind of funny. Apologies if this isn't new for you. We just haven't talked about it on the show. It's been a little busy. I've wanted to read it and go through it and do all the things. Okay. A videotape deposition of Blake Lively. New York, Wednesday, July 30th at 10:15 a.m., which is what, 8:15? 8, 9, 10. Oh, no, 7:15 our time. Whew. Okay. Videotape deposition of Blake Lively held at the offices of Wilkie Farr and Gallagher in New York, pursuant to notice before Anita, a certified shorthand reporter in the state of California. Okay, got it. Thank you. So a lot of stuff naturally is redacted. Looks like this is only 17 minutes in. We're already diving in, right? So a bunch of stuff redacted. And then we immediately get to, when did the smear campaign end? Attorney Ezra Hudson. Objection. It doesn't feel like it's ended. Oh, wait. How do we know who Q, question, answer. Okay, got it. So Brian Friedman is giving the questions. Blake Lively is doing the answers. Brian Friedman asks, when did the smear campaign end? And Ezra Hudson objects. And Blake Lively says, it doesn't feel like it's ended. It doesn't feel like it's ended. It's still going on? He asks. It feels that way. It feels that way, yes. Who do you believe is involved in the ongoing smear campaign? Attorney Ezra Hudson. Objection to the extent that this calls for attorney-client privilege communications. You can answer the question. You can answer if you can answer that question without revealing attorney-client privilege information. Like Lively answers. I believe, outside of what I know through attorneys, I believe that the defendants are involved. Which ones? All of them. And I believe you are. And what is the basis for your belief that all the defendants and myself are involved in an ongoing smear campaign? Attorney Ezra Hudson butts in again. Jesus Christ. Same objection, and I'm going to have to object with respect to attorney-client privilege. If you can answer the question without revealing attorney-client privilege communications, you can answer. Answer from Blake Lively. Outside of what I know through my attorneys, I believe outside of what I know through my attorneys, I believe that the act of retaliatory lawsuit and the press that you've done and the statements you've made about me and like my character, they felt incredibly retaliatory. Brian Friedman asks, what about the defendants? What did they do that's part of the ongoing smear campaign? Like I said, have you tried Betty Boos? I brought you some for all the jurors. I brought the jurors some Betty Boos, some gift bags. So yummy. Outside of conversations with my attorney, I'm unable to answer that. And then the rest is redacted. So it seems like I don't understand what it is that they need to object that's attorney-client privilege that she can't answer. Like, the fact that Ezra Hudson continues to object on the basis of attorney-client privilege, evidence is not attorney-client privilege communications. So how is there not evidence that is based? Like, you can just hide behind anything being attorney-client privilege. So just because my attorney, just because that's her answer. Ezra Hudson told me, so I know. Like, that's basically what she's saying. Ezra Hudson told me that, and so because she told me that, I don't have to answer because that's attorney-client privilege communication that I am not allowed to share with you because it's attorney-client privilege. Even though she's literally trying to violate attorney-client privilege by asking them to turn over communications between the defendants and their attorney, Brian Friedman, because now she suddenly believes that Brian Friedman is part of the smear campaign. Like, make it make sense. Lisa says it's her feelings. Yeah, it's her woman's intuition. You don't believe women? You don't believe women's intuition? Like, oh my God. Like, why are you trying to silence women? Oh my God. Ryan. Never had been a smear campaign. Nope. She might as well just said, I plead the fifth. She basically did say, I plead the fifth, to not incriminate herself. I feel that, yeah, the only smear campaign is against Justin. No, I think there is a smear. Here, let me say this. And before the internet gets pissed off, listen to the full context of what I'm about to say. I now believe that there is a smear campaign. However, I do not believe that it's orchestrated. I believe that it is purely organic because people have become so over her and they find her so insufferable and so entitled that, yeah, now I believe that the smear I mean, it's not even fair to really call it a smear campaign, but I do think people are so fucking tired of her, and that's why everybody wants to post old videos of her and expose all of her behavior, because it's not out of retaliation for harassment, it's literally out of genuine organic disdain, and her privileged pretty little head cannot get that through. Like, it just does not comprehend. It does not compute. Maybe we can have Ezra Hudson tell her that, and then it'll be protected under attorney-client privilege. But Ezra Hudson's word seems to have some sort of weight to it because, she believes her attorneys. And so because her attorneys told her so, it must be true. So, yeah, they're just trying. I don't think they have any evidence of a smear campaign. Like, if you have to hide behind and still organic. Yeah, it was organic and it is still organic. The TMZ article was infuriating. Which TMZ article? Is there a new TMZ article? Oh, oy vey. Is there a new TMZ article? I don't know if I see a new TMZ article. Can somebody brief me on this new TMZ article? It's organic. Yeah. She's never been a nice person. No. Genuine organic disdain, 100%. Yeah. Most TMZ articles are concerning her are infuriating. TMZ isn't covering this case in a biased way. It's sus. Nepo baby that was planted, in my opinion. Oh, you think? Well, I mean, listen, she had Leslie Sloan, which Leslie Sloan's a bulldog, right? She's a pretty powerful publicist in Hollywood. The fact that she was representing Blake Lively was always kind of strange to me. But I guess if you can pay it, you can, you got it. But still, I always found that to be incredibly strange. Casey says it's out of clear revolution of piecing together past behavior and linking it to her current situation. Exactly. There's no like premeditated orchestration. It's even with the email that came out, which again was a contingency. We don't know if they fully activated it, but even if they fully activated it, that's crisis PR. It's not a retaliation campaign. Like, she has to be able to prove that there was an intent to retaliate against her, to harm her reputation, specifically in relation to bullying her into silence about her harassment complaints. We'll see where that takes us, but it's interesting. Um, Also interesting, I noticed that on YouTube in the live chat, 'cause somebody mentioned this to me the other day, there it doesn't seem to have people's names anymore. Now it's only their YouTube handles. I just noticed that today, actually. I've tried to kind of be a little out of the live chat a little bit with all the wave of hate that was coming last year. Um, Isaac says, I mean, I kind of get her. Here's the thing. She's been doing this for years and years. She works with this nobody Baldoni who hired Johnny Depp's PR team, and then all of a sudden nobody likes her. No, people have never liked. When did people like her? Please remind me. Well, I mean, I guess there was like the people were like, oh my God, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds couples goals. Ooh, yeah. But hello, do you not remember when we covered her company Preserve? Like, she was getting beaten up in the press left and right for Preserve. That was her knockoff version of Goop. It was very ugly, by the way. Do you remember what that looked like? When it was like all black with like weird font. It looked like a horror film. But no, guys, no. I mean, well, yeah, hello. She got married on a plantation. Everybody did hate her. That's why they bullied her into donating to the NAACP. And then surprisingly, like years later, that got her a mention on the Time 100 list. People have disliked her for a very long time. I've heard rumors about her being a diva for a very long time. She hasn't been well liked or well embraced. Who was like, oh my God, I was such a big Blake Lively fan. But I think the catalyst was really the Kirsty Flaw video with the little bump, where she's like, "Look at your little bump," because social media has changed, right? Like, now the way that things can go viral on the internet, and we have all the messages from Baldoni's team that basically say, like, "This is all organic. We don't even have to do anything. We don't even have to try and smear her." I think they had some contingency plans in their back pockets, but I don't think they ever had to really activate anything, and we've seen that per the text messages that they didn't have to do anything because the internet was doing it already. Couldn't stand her since she insult in Leighton Meester. Preserve and the slave era stuff and putting Baldoni in the basement. She's ruthless. I mean, then there was the harassment claims that she lodged against her makeup artist because she was like, "Yeah, my makeup artist touched my lip." It's like, really? Well, how else is your makeup artist supposed to put makeup on your face, my love? Like, do they need to wear gloves? Come on, get it together. You think we just fell out of a coconut tree? Hmm. People who overreacted to that pitch letter have never been pitched and have never been pitched. Got it. They've never been pitched. Thank you for stating that twice. They've also never been fucked. The most simplistic answer example is a cover letter. You need to make it specific to the company that you want to hire. Yeah. The NAACP donation came a few days before the investigation behind Deadpool. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. The accident on Deadpool. Zack, did you see their response to Andy's motion to quash her subpoena? He says they lied again. Yeah, I have not read the full thing, but I was texting with him yesterday. And I was getting like snippets of what was going on. I spent the day with my family. Like I told you guys, my family's been it's been a lot going on. But I was with my family yesterday, so I wasn't fully looped in. But I did see with Andy, they're trying to claim that he's not a reporter, and they like used his like old IMDb page and like a screenshot of somebody saying he doesn't know how to source his material, even though those I think he used to write for like popwired.com. It's so interesting, like what they're trying to dig up in the past to try and prove that Andy's not a reporter. Like, even if he wasn't a reporter when he had an IMDb page or any of that stuff before, that doesn't mean that he doesn't now fall under the protections that the media has because now he has a substantial platform where he does research things and present topics and report on news. It's pop culture news, but he does report on news. He has made documentaries. So or docu-series. So he absolutely falls within the protections of the press, of the media. Just because it's a new form of media, it's new media and not traditional media, does not mean, as I referenced, the Juicy Scoop lawsuit with Heather McDonald, that proved that podcasts are a form of media. That's why Heather was able to win that lawsuit, is because she was protected. And that was a huge win for a lot of content creators because, they determined that that's what it was. That they're protected by the press because they are considered the press. They want his documentary and want to know who he spoke with. Yeah, so that they can try to buy people off and quash and do all of their things. They have the nerve to talk about Andy's ethics, and the New York Times has zero. Hilarious of them. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. That said, let's take a quick break to shout out this week's sponsors, and then we'll get into the Isabella Ferrer stuff and the Taylor Swift leaked track list with the song about Blake. What? Let's get it. All right, who here struggles with bloating? I know I've been there. And when you're bloated and you're not feeling your best, then like you can't be confident, whether it's on a hot date, whether it's going in for a work meeting, or just trying to get through your day and trying to power through it, right? Bloating, not the vibe, not the jam, which is why I'm now loving Seed's DSO1. DSO1 is formulated with 24 clinically and scientifically studied strains to support your whole body. Okay. Whole body benefits, including gut health, skin health, heart health, immune health, gut barrier integrity, gut microbial balance, and micronutrient synthesis with just 2 capsules a day. DSO1 is formulated with strains clinically validated to reduce abdominal bloating and intermittent constipation after 2 weeks. It even includes strains shown to support clearer, healthier looking skin in as little as 12 weeks. All right, I've been taking it. I've been loving it. It's easy. It's just 2 capsules a day. And I feel like if you want to, why wait for new year, new me? Get started today with improving your health right now. You can take action now, okay? Get ahead of the new year with a routine that helps you right now by going to seed.com/nofilter. That's SEED.com/nofilter and use code NOFILTER25 to get 25% off your first month. That's seed.com/nofilter, code NOFILTER25. Between busy schedules and summer plans, sometimes all I've got is a couple minutes, like being on a nationwide tour. Factor helps me eat smarter with tasty, chef-prepped meals that are dietitian approved and delivered right to my door. And now, with more than 65 weekly meals made for how I live and what I like to eat, I've got even more ways to fit in a real meal wherever the day takes me. Choose from a wide selection of weekly meal plan options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. Even more GLP-1 friendly meals and new Mediterranean diet options packed with protein and good for you fats are available to support your wellness goals. Like I said, being on tour, traveling, still taping the podcast, walking the dogs, like summer has just been quite a whirlwind, and I'm lucky that I have Factor to help me stay on track with my weekly fitness goals, because I've been up in the gym and I need to make sure I stay on track with my meals, and that's been the toughest part. But Factor has luckily come in to help me stay on track. Eat smart at factormeals.com/nofilter50 off and use code NOFILTER50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code NOFILTER50 off, NOFILTER50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. It takes an eagle eye to read all these receipts, and Pear Eyewear has tons of budget-friendly shapes and styles that don't compromise style or quality. Plus, you get 15% off by going to paireyewear.com and using code NOFILTER. No shade. Pear's sun tops and new tinted lens top collections complement any look from casual to chic. Don't I look chic right now? But I can also keep it casual. I can even go from indoor to outdoor with their sun tops. You just snap it right on, and then suddenly you have sunglasses. But it's still the same shape that looks cute on your face. It's making you look good this summer. Change up your summer look anytime with the Pear collabs or collections that you like most. They have everything from Disney, the Met, Marvel, Star Wars, NBA, NHL. They have premium collections, sun top, sparkle, classic colors, whatever floats your boat. And you can find the perfect frame for your face from home with their virtual try-on. Base frames start at just $60, including your prescription, and top frames start at just $25. Keep your eagle eyes looking sharp. Go to paireyewear.com and use code NOFILTER for 15% off your first pair. And you can support the show by mentioning that No Filter with Zack Peters sent you in your post-checkout survey. That's Pear, P-A-I-R, paireyewear.com, code NOFILTER. Just a reminder, guys, if you haven't yet done so, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the like button, and be sure to drop a comment so I know how you're feeling about all the tea. all the tea that's been spilling. And if you want the tea hot and fresh up in your notifications, then hit that little bell down below as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can also subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, you can watch on Spotify, and you can live stream the show weekday mornings on the YouTube. All right. Let's see. Let's talk about Isabela Ferrer. So another item on the docket that hit is that Wayfair is trying to now subpoena Isabela Ferrer by alternative means. So they're claiming that they have tried to subpoena Isabela Ferrer 5 different times, 2 of which were in person, or they had 2 residential addresses listed, and they tried to find her at each of those residences. They were unsuccessful, and anybody around claims they didn't know anybody by the name Isabella Ferrer. And then the rest were contact or attempts to contact her attorneys, the attorneys that were representing her in this. They have completely ignored and not responded to any of the requests for, or yeah, requests to serve her with the subpoena. So with the 5 attempts, they've had 0 response. They have not been able to get any sort of reaction from Isabella Ferrer, and so now they are requesting alternative means to subpoena her. We'll see how that, if the judge approves that and how they move forward with that. You could potentially be held in contempt if you're intentionally trying to avoid it, because, Copper says TikTokers will find her. Well, let's not do that, you know? MC High Life says 5 times. That's a lot. I wonder if she can be held in contempt for dodging it. Yes, she can. I mean, I would imagine her attorneys may also have some sort of culpability if Friedman's office or Baldoni's attorneys are contacting her attorneys and trying to get them to respond via email, and they won't do that either. Don't they have to respond, her attorneys at least? You would think that the attorneys have to respond. They're not responding. I wonder if she's still even paying the attorneys. It's possible that she is not keeping the attorneys on retainer, so maybe they're not responding because they no longer represent her. But I would think that even then they would respond to that. But now that it's in court, now that it's on the docket, now that we're talking about it, it doesn't look good. It does not look good. They did pull all of her addresses. Yeah. So we'll see. I bet she's at her cousin George Clooney's house in Italy hiding out. Who knows where she's at? She's gonna have to answer at some point, but I don't think that this, so to be very clear, it's Baldoni's team that's trying to subpoena Isabella Ferrer. We don't know if Blake Lively's team has tried to subpoena her or has successfully been able to serve her, but at least for right now, it's the Wayfair parties that are trying to reach Isabella, and she does not want, it's very obvious, she does not wanna answer any questions. Why do you think she's avoiding? Well, I mean, listen, we have her messages, right? So if we look at the text message that she sent to Justin Baldoni. This was, what was the date on this? 7/11/2023. I mean, she says, "Hey, this is Isabella Ferrer to Justin Baldoni. Hey, just got my film developed from when we were shooting, so here's this sweet pic. I also have to say thank you so much for an incredible experience on my first film. I still can't shake the feeling of it all because it truly was life-changing for me. You are such a wonderful, smart, and sincere director and created such a comfortable, safe space for me to feel like I could fully step into this role. I couldn't have asked for a more welcoming environment. It will stay with me for the rest of my life. See you soon, whether in the fall or later. Hope you're doing well. Smiley face X, as in XOXO. Sent a photo. He responded, Isabella, what a kind message. You were such a joy and a pleasure to work with. Your openness, your raw talent, your kindness, and your excitement make me fall in love with directing again. I'm so excited for your career and for everyone to see this film. You have a big career in front of you. Looking forward to seeing you again in September. Even if we don't need you to work, come visit. So there we go. That's exhibit 1, Your Honor. So there was that one, and then there was this EPK interview that Isabella did. And so this was on, so the text message was on July 11th. So this is after she filmed her scene. And then prior to that, on June 22nd, Isabella, who played young Lily, it says Isabella, who played young Lily, participated in an on-set EPK interview designed to use in the film's promotional campaign. Below are the questions and Isabella's responses, focusing on her experiences on set and her thoughts on working with Baldoni. Interviewer asks, yes, let's do that. Just a couple seconds of room tone. All right. Okay. Ready? What is the most rewarding part of being on the set of being on the It Ends With Us set? Isabella Ferrer responds, at least for me, this is one of my first projects. So I think been doing working with professionals that I've been doing have been doing this for a really long time, but also who are so open. The crew and Justin and all the actors that I've worked with have just been so open and welcoming. I've never felt belittled in any sort of way. I think that just being able to come into the set and feeling seen and heard and feeling immediately comfortable and being able to just go in and do it and do what I do and not have any anxieties or worries about how I might be, or yeah, I just feel very accepted, I think. Okay. And then we have a more specific direct question asking Isabella. I'm going to ask you a lot of extra questions. What has it been? Wait, I'm going to ask you one last extra question, which is how has it been working with Justin? Isabella says, oh my God, so good. So good. He's been so generous with advice and just overall in the entire process of letting me observe and really take in everything. He's taken really good care of. I mean, everybody, it seems, and I think there's a lot that's always going into productions, and I think he is really a great method of just being able to keep things positive and find ways of uplifting and then going. And then there's also this look at it, and I feel like that's as an actor who's also first starting, when you're trying to get used to everything, it's really important to have someone go, That's really good." And now okay, now let's look into this. And that's not patronizing. And that's no, I don't feel not heard. Sorry, the way she talks kind of seems like she's stuttered a bit. So the sentence setup and fragments seem a bit off. But she continues by saying, I always feel like I can go up to him and ask him anything. I mean, our first phone call after I got this job, it was a FaceTime. And the first time he said to me, like, whatever you need, whenever, call me. I immediately had his number. There was an immediate understanding that literally, whenever, if I needed anything, I knew I could reach out to him. And that was immediately such a comforting feeling that I wasn't just diving into something and not knowing what was going to happen. Yeah. So again, praising him, like praising him. She says in her text message to him and here, good. So good in reference to her experience working with Justin Baldoni on the set of It Ends With Us. I think so. Then let's also remind everybody. So we have Isabella Ferrer and Blake Lively, who suddenly at some point become friends. We don't exactly know when, but it seemed like after she finished her scenes with Justin, she then somehow befriended Blake. And so the weird thing about their friendship, though, is that they didn't have any actual scenes together. They never worked together because Isabella played young Lily and Blake Lively played old Lily. And young Lily never needed to interact with old Lily. So why would they have any scenes together? So it was a little strange that they suddenly developed this bonding relationship. And Isabella talked about how Blake Lively would invite her over and they had sleepovers and they would bake. And it's just also kind of crazy. Like it kind of feels like Blake Lively love bombed Isabella Ferrer and tried to make her feel, seen and safe and heard and all these things. But it kind of feels like maybe Blake Lively was doing all of these things and befriending all of the cast. Because remember, there was even the book convention that she allegedly flew everybody out to herself. So when Blake Lively is coming over here and she's offering you private jets to go to events and she's making you feel included and she's bringing around Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift and she's inviting you to the premiere of Deadpool. Like, it's, yeah, see, everyone's saying she definitely love bombed. I mean, she didn't see how Blake was acting. Nah, weak. Well, listen, when you're being love bombed by somebody, like you're gonna look past her, and she's young. Like this is the first time she's ever been on set. I'm sure this is the first time she's ever worked with an actress like Blake Lively. And listen, you can knock her as an actress, but she's at least a noticeable name from Gossip Girl, right? Like people are familiar with her. Gossip Girl was a popular show. She was one of the main characters on Gossip Girl. She's also done, Age of Adeline. People really loved her in, and Sister of the Traveling Pants. I think Isabella may be a little too young for Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but even A Simple Favor. So like Blake Lively is a known name to people. And I think prior to all of this, people would kind of like even Justin Baldoni was excited. He's like, "Holy shit, we secured Blake Lively. Like this is great," you know? So, it's interesting. Um, we'll see what comes of this, of how long she can avoid this. But I would imagine Isabella's afraid to answer questions because I'm sure she's torn because her experience working with Justin was great. And the things that she said were honest and genuine. But she's also probably scared to go against Blake Lively because Blake Lively clearly loved bombed this girl and I'm pretty sure she's feeling conflicted of like, wait, was my friendship with Blake Lively real? Which is also strange that Blake Lively, who's what, 37, she was like 36-ish at the time. Isabella Ferrer, who's much younger in her 20s. How old is Isabella Ferrer? Isabella's 24. So Blake Lively's more than 10 years older than her. Also, being in your early 20s and being in your late 30s, big age gap, right? I'm 32. I don't know if I would be hanging out with a 24-year-old and being like, "Yeah, come over. Let's have sleepovers." Like, you're a mom. You're a lady now. You're not even you're yes, a woman, but you're a lady. You're a 37-year-old lady with children at home. And you're inviting a 24-year-old girl to come and bake with you, especially when again, you guys from what we understand, never worked together on set. So if you never actually worked together on set, I mean, now to be fair, there could have been an opportunity where maybe they did kind of meet and see if they could pick up on each other's mannerisms because they're technically playing the same person. That I will give the benefit of the doubt for that, that maybe there was some sort of contact so that they can make sure, like Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan doing Freaky Friday, and now they're back for Freakier Friday. Like all of those actresses needed to work together and learn each other's mannerisms and get to know each other so that when they're impersonating each other, they make sure that they're doing it as authentically as they possibly can. So that's the interesting thing. But the sleepovers is just again, it's a little strange, right? And I don't think Isabella Ferrer, who's young and impressionable in her early 20s, especially coming into this world of Hollywood at that age, being so young, you're very impressionable. So I think you're going to trust and believe Blake. And I'm sure Blake was planting seeds. I'm sure Blake was like, confiding in Isabella, and Isabella felt important because she was being confided in. But also, hey, old Blake, you're too damn old to be confided in a 20, maybe at this point, I imagine Isabella's maybe 22, 23. Blake does not need to be confiding in a 23-year-old to try and, get some things off her chest about the director. It's completely manipulative. Completely. And I think Isabella feels conflicted. I'm sure, Blake's trying to continue to like butter her up. And Isabella is probably questioning whether or not the friendship is real or not real. Was Blake manipulating her? Was she not? Are the things that Blake opened up to her about, were they real? I'm sure Blake even told Isabella things like, "Oh my God, you're so mature. You're so mature for your age." Like, I'm sure she made and gassed up Isabella so much to be like, "Oh, I feel like you're such an old soul." Like, I can totally see Blake Lively saying stuff like that. "You're such an old soul, and, like, I feel like I can connect with you." Like, Blake Lively knows how to do that. We've seen her do this in interviews. There's no questioning that I think Blake manipulated this poor girl. And also name dropping Taylor Swift. Yep, absolutely, and you can tell that she was jazzed by the Taylor Swift thing because she literally said in an interview, and she was so excited, like, Taylor Swift helped cast her. Of course she's gonna fall under Blake's spell. Taylor Swift helped cast her, and Taylor Swift is best friends with Blake Lively, the mother of her grandchildren. Or sorry, not grand the godmother of her children. So, you know, doesn't look too good. Does not look too good. I think her career will survive if she just tells the truth. I mean, we're hoping, but it kind of seems like she's scared to tell the truth. She's scared to go against Blake Lively for whatever reason. She does not want to testify. She does not want to answer questions under oath. Her career would probably thrive in the long run as much attention as this case has received. Yeah. Sleepovers are weird, but then again, I just finished The Hunting Wives, so yeah. Interesting how Blake down dressed her when Blake had the best extravagant gown. That speaks volumes. Blake's past behavior or bullets, it ends with us is the well, I don't understand what that means. Um, I'm not sure if that was like a reference to what's his name, Alec Baldwin in the Rust case, but yeah, significant. Oh, sign an affidavit and tell the truth. Avoid the trail. Yeah, but again, she's still young. She wants to have a career. And you have to kind of like weigh those options, right? Like, especially in Hollywood, you're being told so many different things. You think Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have control in Hollywood. And it's like, do you want to go against them? Is that going to potentially end your career? By siding with Justin Baldoni, who doesn't have power in Hollywood. He may have power with the public, but like she's an actress. She wants to be in this world. So we'll see. We shall see. If she had just let him be on that damn red carpet with everyone, we probably would never be here. Yeah, but she had to put him in the basement. She had to, you know, make sure she had full control, full authorship over the film and control over the press junket. And he just kept taking it over and over and over. And it just blew up astronomically. But we'll see what happens with Isabella. She's gonna have to answer questions at some point. A lot of people are asking what's going on with Colleen Hoover. I would imagine Colleen's already been subpoenaed. I would imagine there's probably a date set for her deposition. Um, I'm sure a lot of that is happening, or they're probably in talks to schedule her deposition. We'll see. We shall see. I can't wait to continue to see this all play out. But depositions have to wrap by next month. They got their extension, but I think everything has to be done by September 30th, I believe is the final deadline for discovery. What about Timu Thor? I'm sure he's been subpoenaed as well. It seems like the only one the Wayfair parties are having struggling or having or struggling to subpoena or to serve is Isabella Ferrer. We'll see. And listen, I feel bad that we're talking about Isabella and that she's dragged into this, but I mean, this is just kind of where we're at, you know? Colleen Hoover's freezing soda. Yeah, she's somewhere in a corner freezing soda. Freezing, what was it, Pepsi? Oh man, she's freezing her Pepsi. She's like, "Hi everybody. I just want you to know. I came up. I don't know if I'm a genius or I'm not a genius, but I can freeze some Diet Pepsi, and I think it was the most genius idea I've ever had. And I think everybody else should freeze Pepsi because I am gonna sell you some merch. Probably shouldn't be on Instagram right now. I'm gonna sell you some merch with some Diet Pepsi because that's all I'm drinking. Yeah. Homegirl was lit. Colleen has 3 movies coming out. She wants to be far away from this. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Blake should take a lesson from Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson lost her ex. Like, that's a little different. Which, speaking of Kelly Clarkson and her ex, did you see that the ex-husband that just passed away, he was, like, fully in love with Kelly Clarkson's former assistant? I mean, I feel like that gives us a little more insight into the divorce. That's crazy. I mean, listen, may he rest in peace, but that's crazy. She invented Pepsi. Yeah, she invented frozen Pepsi. I'm sitting here, like, with the frozen Coke. I'll be quiet. Why do people like Colleen Hoover books? They seem disconnected to the subject matter. I don't know. I've never read a Colleen Hoover book, to be honest with you. People really like Verity. Verity, yes, with her assistant. I know it's so crazy. So crazy. And it was mentioned in the obituary. That was crazy. Let's see. Obituary. Um, yeah. She was listed as his loving partner in his obituary. That was wild. Brandon, along with his beautiful and loving partner in life and business, Brittany Marie Jones, started building a life, building companies, and working tirelessly to create Headwaters Livestock Auction and will live on as his legacy. Rodeo, the Valley View Rodeo is in Bozeman, Montana. Read his obituary. That's wild. Like, that's wild. Like, I feel bad for Kelly Clarkson. I wouldn't compare her to Blake Lively, though. I just, Kelly handled everything with grace for her kids. Yep. 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 I only read one hopeless, and it was a bit out there. First and last one. Verity people really liked it. I believe that's when Anne Hathaway is gonna be in the new movie. He stole from Kelly, then slapped her one last time in his obituary. Okay, well, I don't think he did that. I mean, well, I mean, he may have. He did have cancer for a while. That, like, I'm pretty sure there were steps that they took to prepare for this. But yikes, we're a parent first. Yeah, you have to protect your kids. Paid for by Kelly. Yeah, it's wild. But then again, like, they are still always going to be family, and so I do have a lot of respect for Kelly for, making sure that she maintains that relationship and is trying to be there for her kids right now, because it's, I'm sure, a lot, and I'm sure she's very confused by it all. So we'll see. Thank you, Laura. Laura says, "Please like and subscribe, everybody." Yes, if you haven't done so, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Let's talk about Taylor Swift. T Swift, it looks like Taylor Swift may be dropping a song about Blake Lively after all. So there's a the rumors and the nastiness. There appears to be a new track list from Taylor Swift that has just dropped on Reddit. And uncertain whether this is real or not real. It's kind of up in the air, TBD at the moment, but here, I'll pull it up for everybody so that you can see it. It looks like somebody took a photo of a potential, like, promotional backdrop or some sort of promo thing, and it has all of the songs and seemingly some of the lyrics, if not all of the lyrics. And so here are the different songs. I'll just read them off for you. So we have first song on the track. It does appear to be real. I'll just say that. Uncertain if it is or isn't, but it appears to be real. Oh, is this possibly the insert, like the CD insert, or the physical? Yeah, it looks like that may be what it is. That, like, thing, the one. Which, I mean, to be fair, I'm sure all of those are already made up, and there are a ton of people with access to them. So anybody in any potential, like, store or whatever could have opened this, taken a photo of it, sent it somewhere. Okay, but so here are the songs: "The Fate of Ophelia," okay, uh, "Opalite," 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 "Father Figure," "Elizabeth Taylor," um, "Oldest Daughter," "Ruin the Friendship," okay, that could potentially be one, "Actually Romantic," "Wish List," "Would," "Canceled," "Honey," and then "The Last Showgirl." I believe "The Last Showgirl" features Sabrina Carpenter. And so people are thinking, like, listen, there's "Ruin the Friendship," which I don't know if it's "Ruin the Friendship," but some people are also thinking that it could be "The Last Showgirl." And so here are the lyrics for "The Last Showgirl," or at least from what we can see, the potential of, yeah, it's for the vinyl. Yeah, I think so. I think it's for the vinyl because it looks a little bigger than, like, a little CD insert. Pretty sure Taylor is safe from defamation. She writes about people that she forced to sign an NDA, then wrote about them. Well, yeah, but she's very mindful of how she does it. The Last Showgirl was the Pamela Anderson movie, correct? How many friendships over this time span was ruined for her? I don't know. We'll see. Ruin the friendship. Ophelia was Blake Lively's character on Savages. Oh, the fate of Ophelia. The lyrics dropped or were leaked available story than an actual friendship. Say what? I love the vinyl making a comeback. I do too. Okay. Well, we'll see which of the songs, but people are specifically thinking it's potentially the life of a showgirl. I don't know if it's the life of a showgirl. I think Taylor would be the showgirl in this case. And I mean, listen, Ophelia or Ruin the Friendship, I think those could potentially be about. Um, no, I think Canceled will be about her past. Yeah, I think so. Cancel. No, I don't think Canceled is about Blake. I think people want Blake to be canceled, but I don't think that it'll be about her. But so here are the lyrics that somebody was able to translate on Reddit from The Last Showgirl. Her name was Kitty, made her money being pretty and witty. They gave her the keys to the city. They then said she didn't do it. It says legally, but I've also seen on Reddit people are saying she didn't do it legally, but other people are saying they read it as she didn't do it legitly. So it's possibly legally or legitly. They said she didn't do it legitly. I bought a ticket. She's dancing in the garment as faintest. So I joined the cast. Zero mistakes. Looking back, I guess I was kissing. I walked by the stage door, peeked in with the autograph hounds. Sabrina there in satin gown. I should have lived in that sound. 10 words the camera cut. I was loving the dream they dreamt. Then she said to me, "Hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet. If you're shorter than a peach, if you're shorter than a peach, but you don't care what they say, if you're shorter than a peach, or peach is short, then you've made it, and you're new yet unforgettable, just like you've always been known." She was a menace to the men who never don't know. She was once a marvel to the wives of the city. The way the show goes, like a traveling nose, I'd sit on the stage at midnight, and the last place promoters let me stay. I'd stay till the last star faded and dancers had gone away. Who knows if that's about Blake or not? But it may be. It may be. Yeah, this one might make Zach laugh. Which one might make Zach laugh? I think Taylor's the showgirl, and it wouldn't make the title of the album reference to Blake. That would be too much. I agree. I agree. I don't think that this one's about Blake. I think it's more likely that the fate of Ophelia, if Ophelia, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah, Blake Lively played Ophelia in Savages, which was in 2012. Who was her character? Like what wasn't her character? I don't know, but I never watched it. That's where we at. Ophelia has to be an Easter egg. Yeah, I was seeing online with the speculation that Ophelia was in reference to something like Ophelia. Which Ophelia? Ophelia. Da-na-na-na-na-na. So Ophelia is a character in Shakespeare's drama Hamlet. She is a young noblewoman of Denmark, the daughter of Polonius and the sister of, oh God, I don't know these names, who becomes romantically involved with Prince Hamlet due to Hamlet's erratic behavior and her father's death at Hamlet's hands. Ophelia descends into madness and ultimately drowns. Oh, Ophelia. Da-na-na-na-na. So I know that that's a term, or that's a name that is used often in songs. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait until we get an actual track list and some actual lyrics um, before we can get more out of this. I don't think Canceled is about Blake Lively. I think Canceled is probably about being, uh, being canceled herself. Oh, Ophelia, you been on my mind, girl, since the flood. Who is that? The Lumineers? Noyak? Ophelia Osage. Yeah. As a 36-year-old, I cannot for the life of me befriend an early 20-year-old coworker. We talk, but we're not hanging out and things. We're at a different place in life mentally and emotionally. Exactly. But I'm sure Blake was like putting things in her head, like, you're so mature, Isabella. You're so, oh my God, I can connect with you on such a different level. It would be subtle words like amalgamations, yummy, playful, dragons. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, all the words of Lakey's. I'm sure there has to be a dragon or a yummy reference somewhere. Or I mean, if we get a Khaleesi reference or a dragon reference, like, that would just, like, drive people crazy. We'll see. Okay, so that's Taylor Swift and her track list. That's Isabella Ferrer. That's Blake Lively. The docket has been firing off lately. Okay. I'm just gonna prepare myself right now. Um, so Perez Hilton is continuing to file new letters on the docket, and I have to say, I'm a fan of some of the new letters that he's been writing. The tone seems to have significantly changed. So I'm glad that maybe my words and the words of some other content creators maybe you know had some sort of effect, or he just kind of had a come to Jesus moment. Whatever it is, I do really like and am impressed by this new style that Perez has embraced with the letters to the judge. Here, I'll read one of them. And he seems to really be taking it seriously, and I think that this direction will be far more effective. So he writes, Judge Lyman, I, Mario, aka Perez, write as a non party in Lively v. Wayfair Studios to respectfully inform the court's persistent, pervasive, and perverse discovery practices by Miss Lively's lawyers. Seeing as Miss Lively dragged me into this legal mess, I feel it imperative to once again remind the court of behavior that I believe is unethical from her lawyers. On August 8th, Mr. Gottlieb filed with this court the unredacted personal phone numbers and multiple party individuals in this litigation. And then he references Exhibit D, E, and H on docket 587. Mr. Gottlieb could have filed a redacted version of this on the public court docket and the unredacted version under seal. He did not. He knew better and made the informed choice to behave deplorably. This is a pattern of behavior that has been going since the beginning of this litigious nightmare. He continues by saying, as Your Honor himself has publicly shared on August 8th, accompanying your ruling to strike Miss Lively's deposition transcript, he references it there. Very good. Like he's referencing court cases, he's highlighting things like this is a very well written letter. Is there a reason why the private phone numbers of non party individuals should be on the public court docket? It is not Your Honor's role and responsibility. Oh, it is not Your Honor's role and responsibility to monitor such things and to. Oh, is it not Your Honor's role and responsibility to monitor such things and to ensure the docket is free of spite? This pertains to me and my communications with this court, I am showing a consistent pattern of abuse by Miss Lively and her legal counsel. Hence, I have repeatedly called for sanctions against them. All of those requests have been ignored by Your Honor. See, this is us holding him accountable without being disrespectful. Last week, the court admonished Mr. Baldoni's counsel for attaching Miss Lively's deposition transcript in full, yet Your Honor allowed for her attorneys to use this court's docket as a means to promote public scandal when Miss Lively's lawyers dumped over 400 pages of unrelated and irrelevant legal documents pertaining to actor Vin Diesel. And then he references that. Docket 402, Exhibit B. This is good because he's showing examples. He's using, language that is still respectful. He's showing a level of decorum. I think that this is a brilliantly written letter, and I think that this is going to be far more effective. I'm giving Perez his flowers. This is how we do it. I never was trying to bash Perez for the sake of bashing Perez. It was never personal. And yeah, did I use some colorful language? Sure, because I figured Perez and I are both two big boys in the sandbox that can throw a little shady, cheeky shade. That to me, it was wild, the reaction. But nonetheless, I'm going to give flowers where flowers are due. Do I regret anything I said last week? Unfortunately, this may upset you, but I don't regret what I said last week. But I will praise this behavior. I can't back all behavior, but I will praise this behavior because I think this is very, very helpful. It's very helpful to content creators. It's very helpful because the way he's referencing Judge Lyman's, behavior and he's calling him biased and giving specific examples that I think are hard to dispute. Very, very smart. And this letter also just makes Perez sound more intelligent, right? And now in reading these, I genuinely believe that he's concerned about the safety for his children and the safety for his family and his own safety. Like I genuinely believe that now. I don't feel like the behavior that was exhibited last week was reflective of that. It seemed very performative. Whereas this, on the other hand, I feel like will be a lot more effective. For the reasons stated above, and in my letter sent to you earlier today, I move this court to impose the strongest sanctions on Mr. Gottlieb, Ms. Hudson, and all of Blake Lively's lawyers. Your Honor has the power to sanction, and doing so would send a needed message that this unethical and hurtful behavior from Ms. Lively's legal team must stop. It is not only wrong, but this pattern of abuse by Ms. Lively's attorneys exposes non-parties in the litigation to potential harassment, abuse, and legitimate safety concerns. Again, for the record, I'm pointing out yet again why I have no reason to believe Miss Lively's legal team would protect my sensitive information. Why would they? They continue to publicly dox non-parties in this litigation as recently as August 8th, and Your Honor is allowing this unchecked. Respectfully submitted, Mario Armando Lavadiera, aka Perez Hilton. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. We have to be able to keep it real and keep it honest here. Now, on that same point, it does appear that some of Perez's behavior last week may have backfired a bit, because now we're seeing the judge. Looks like as of this morning, the judge has denied Perez's request for an extension of time to file a response to Lively's motion to compel. He has, I believe, until the end of the day to submit that. So again, when you play with the judge in his court, sometimes there are consequences to those actions. And I know people are like, well, why aren't there consequences for Lively? Well, because Lively is playing to the judge and seemingly winning him over, you know? There's something that Lively's team is doing that has, gotten the judge in goo goo gaga eyes for them. And that's why, like, you can't hate the player, you have to hate the game. And right now, the game is you kind of have to be nice to Judge Lyman if you want him to rule in your favor. Because again, he's the one that's ruling here. I don't like it. I don't like Lyman at all. Let me be very clear. I do not like Judge Lyman. He absolutely is showing, in my opinion, clear bias, you know? Oh, Perez said that he misinterpreted the deadline. Blake has until the 25th or something. Oh, okay. Got it. So, okay. So then it doesn't seem like this is a loss. Oh, well, wait, hold on. Pro se non-party, Perez Hilton, seeks an time uh, extension of time to file his opposition for the motion to compel filed by Blake Lively. His opposition is due today, August 13th, 2025, and he requests an extension of time to respond until the court has decided. Oh, okay, because that was his argument, is he's waiting for Nevada to decide whether or not the subpoena should be quashed. But it looks like the judge might be moving it forward. The motion for an extension is denied. Perez seeks, in effect, a stay related to Lively's motion until the district court in Nevada issues a ruling, but he has not demonstrated good cause for briefing on Lively's motion not to go forward. He is free to argue in his opposition to the motion to compel that the court should defer rulings until the District Court of Nevada has ruled. It appears, however, that he has not yet properly served his motion to quash to the District of Nevada, filed on July 28th, 2025. The court does not assume, nor should he, that it will necessarily defer ruling in favor of proceeding that is now further behind than the one in this court. To the extent that he has already argued in his motion to quash that the subpoena is improper, he is free to repeat those arguments in his briefing here. The clerk court is respectfully directed to mail this order to him, and Lively is directed to serve this order electronically on him. The court will also share this order with him by email today, August 13th, 2025, at the email address that he has used to email the filings to the court. He is encouraged to sign up for electronic service by email as to reduce the burden on the clerk of court having to mail orders to him. Got it. This case goes to court. Lyman will be the judge, or will there be a different? No, Lyman is the judge. This is it. He's in this. You know, he's in this. Much better Perez. His previous flippancy indicated that he wasn't taking this whole thing seriously when clearly he is. He can be a grown up. I agree. Listen, I'm on Perez's team here. I'm on his side. I'm on Perez's side. But the same way, and listen, Donna can tell you, other friends of mine can tell you, I will call you out when I think that, you fumbled the ball. Like when there was a clip of Donna, she said something on her show about how someone in Baldoni's camp had reached out to her, and she, was very excited when she shared that on our show. This was months and months ago. And then the Blake bots online then took that clip and were circulating it everywhere. And I remember holding Donna's feet to the fire then too. And she's just like, dude, get off my back. And I was like, Donna, this is a really bad look. Like, I told you not to do this, and you did this. And so we call each other out. We absolutely are willing to call each other out. We do it all the time because we're all on the same team. We're all fighting for the same things, you know? We all will you talk to each other when we feel like there's a fumble of a ball somewhere. And again, my critique was not personal to Perez, but my critique was about the bigger, implications and the bigger consequences of what could happen. Like Andy was at risk of, this could have affected him trying to get his subpoena quashed as well. This could affect Baldoni's case altogether. It makes content creators look bad altogether. So, you know, people don't want to let the drama go, apparently. There's no drama from my end. I'll tell you that. Even when the creators have quashed it between. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Team Truth. Team Truth always. The creators all work together. Absolutely. And we're allowed to disagree, you know? Love that you and Donna support each other and call each other out when needed. True friendship. Yeah. Listen, and Donna's called me out too. We're like, Zach, you need to do this. Zach, you need to apologize. That like you need she holds my feet to the fire as well. That's indicative of the real relationships that we've all formed behind the scenes. We all have each other's back. The Nevada judge said that the compliance is required in their district. They said that just now. Blake is even after the Latin American YouTuber. She subpoenaed an Argentinian. I saw that. The harder the truth, the better the friend. Yeah, I agree. That's why we were all so shocked with the level of like vitriol. And even today, people are still going at us. And I'm just like, I truly don't understand it, but you do you, boo. You do you. Nothing but love. Love to everybody in the club. Love to everybody in the club. In the club. In the club. Zach, did you watch Good Luck Charlie? If yes, doesn't Donna look like Amy Duncan? I don't remember. I mean, if I think I did watch Good Luck Charlie, but that's an old movie, right? Or came out a while back. Yeah. The fact that Perez even got upset with you, it was more people getting offended on. Yeah, that's the thing. Perez and I never had an issue. We'd never had beef directly. We were never in direct communication. It was literally just all the people online that came for blood. The next subpoena is Justin Baldoni's barista. I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised. No one hides if they're telling the truth. Exactly. Exactly. Isabella Ferrer is hiding out in the damn basement. I mean, at this point, she must be. All right. I think that's all I got for you today. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. All right, guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Happy hump day. I hope you get humped today. I love you. I appreciate you. Always hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave an Apple Podcast review, drop a comment below on Spotify, and go have yourselves a Jet 2 holiday. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Live streaming Monday through Friday. New Filter with Zach Peter. Monday through Friday mornings, live streamed on YouTube and available to watch on Spotify and available to listen on listen on Apple Podcasts and every other podcast platform. So hit the like button on your way out. Drop a comment if you feel so compelled. Keep it cute, keep it nice, keep it respectful, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Love you. Love you, Mina. Bye.